Alrighty, here we go. Let's check out this latest breaking news from David Wilcock from Divine Cosmos. Hope you're having a blessed day here. This is some news about the DeLonge group. He's one of these UFO guys that has been put into the limelight lately. So here we go to the Stars Academy. A Nimitz UFO. This was a UFO footage that they took. The Nimitz UFO photo is of a party balloon. Look at that, number 1 up, flying around, taken in Manchester, UK in 2005 by Steve Mera. Tom DeLonge, CIA, and other intel advisors used a picture of a Mylar party balloon from 2005 as if it was a genuine UFO and raised over $2.2 million in funding from the event featuring it. There was widespread suspicion of this mainstream media sanctioned disclosure in the UFO community, and it was just proven correct. Someone within the group obviously knew this was a fake image. We do not feel Tom DeLonge was in on it, and his silence suggests he must be very upset at this point. You almost wonder how he couldn't know that that was some kind of balloon, but who knows. Someone within the group knew it was fake, with the formerly invincible Cabal on the ropes like never before. Perhaps this disclosure was just too easy. No one was fighting and dying to make this happen, and the media towed the line. The members of this group completely ghosted the UFO community at large, hardly granting any access whatsoever to the people on the front lines of the disclosure movement. Weirdest of all was how little anyone in the public was affected by it. UFOs, been there, done that. What will real disclosure look like now that the credibility of this operation has been shattered? It's going to be grassroots all the way. So I just want to include that I don't agree with everything that David Wilcock puts out. I mean, he does put out a lot of good information. Pretty brilliant dude. But I've been researching the subject for over 30 years and have trained with many masters, and I train with a Taoist master, Ching Feng Dao Shi, and a couple Zen masters, and my teacher's also a Mongolian shaman, and he says that these entities or beings are interdimensional beings. Now, I know a lot of people on the interwebs will say that any of these paranormal, metaphysical, UFO type experiences are demons. You see that all the time. I mean, it is mostly Christians that are saying this. Now, when we talk of interdimensional beings, what the Christians call angels or angelic beings, they would also be interdimensional. So, and they can appear to man. I mean, it's been throughout history, and even in the Bible, angels appearing to Mary and appearing to certain saints and prophets and such. Now, of course, not all higher dimensional or interdimensional beings would be benevolent either. I'm sure, like many people claim about the reptilians and the archon type beings, you know, the ancient Christian Coptics spoke of these archons. They were revealed in the myth of Sophia and the Library of Nag Hammadi, that was in Coptic text, which the Christians used to speak and write in a couple thousand years back. So I do believe that many of these entities or UFOs or ETs that people experience they're interdimensional. I don't believe they're coming from other galaxies and far off stars and stuff like that. I believe that they can manifest into this realm, into this matrix, from other dimensions, from multi-dimensions, higher dimensions, whatever you want to call it. Things like Bigfoot too, I believe, are interdimensional, and other paranormal activities that happen in this realm. So this shows that David's been revealing the Tom DeLonge disclosure in several different articles. I'll put a link to this article below. Enticing, if not irresistible. This was irresistible bait for the UF community at large. So you got the anti-gravity technology from Lockheed Martin. Now my teacher knows how to build anti-gravity devices, and he's worked with Lockheed Martin in the past. They call it Skunk Works. And yes, there are underground transportation from mountain to mountain in North America, in the United States. These things travel at super high speeds, you know, hundreds and hundreds of miles an hour. From what I've been told, they're like vacuum tubes, kind of like in the banks that would shoot those little things really at high speeds. There's no resistance, and it's almost like a sealed tube that these things blast in between all the different underground cities and underground bases in the mountains around this country. They've been there for many years. So this is supposedly a UFO. I mean, whoever took these photos and videos, I mean, they should have seen this thing floating around like a balloon. I mean, it's not going to appear and disappear or fly in and up or different directions. It's going to be blown around in the wind. Look at this. You can buy a silver balloon just like this here on Amazon for as little as $7.98. Here, you can get the same one with one easy payment of $5.99, but only while supplies last. Look, baby tree #1. Foil birthday balloon, silver. You know, it's a #1 for the first. You know, and someone I'm sure put helium in it. Look at that. What kind of return on investment or ROI would you get if you could use a $6 balloon to raise $2.2 million? Certainly a lot more than the stock market at this point, which went into free fall immediately after the release of the damning FISA memo. The Dow dropped 666 points. Imagine that. What a coincidence. What a wad of garbage. This epic debunking allowed the online skeptic community to sing with joy once again, parading their fundamentalist beliefs that there is no evidence. Jimmy Church spilled the beans. Jimmy Church alerted me to this in a phone call we had yesterday. He insisted that I sit down before he tell me, and it was definitely a good idea. He has outed the whole scandal on his Facebook page on February 7th after having been a direct Tom DeLonge supporter. Of course, Jimmy Church is supporter, or was until probably now, hopefully not. Oh, look at, here he is with Dio, Ronnie James Dio. What are you up to, Jimmy Church? I saw you pushing the Tesla Roadster in outer space. More fake news. So today's February 10th, 2018. You know, Jimmy Church has some good shows, but just like David Wilcock, they're following the NASA narrative. The Jesuits that created NASA and their fake news, fake agendas, and fake UFO disclosure. You know, just look up Project Bluebeam. It's been predicted and disclosed from whistleblowers that the deep state wants to create a fake alien invasion with holographic technology to push their New World agenda, New World Order. Let's see. On December 25th, we went into detail about the DeLonge event at the others and gave this event favorable coverage. Partial disclosure and Podesta. I mean, why would you even talk about Podesta? I mean, he's linked to Pizzagate and these pedophile rings. Our Alliance insiders had consistently been warning us that this enormous media event was all part of an attempt to create a partial disclosure that the Cabal hoped would save them from defeat, which Podesta is part of this. The Cabal is part of the deep state and the Clinton Foundation. The Cabal folks were only intending to use disclosure as a weapon of mass distraction. Like they need any more distractions for humans. I mean, you know, the sheep will have their sports. They got their Super Bowls and their Kim Kardashians and their Hollyweird and whatever, LeBron James, whoever they're worshiping that day, whatever star they're worshiping. I mean, people are either distracted or they're not. I mean, they don't need to disclose UFOs to distract people. I mean, if anything, maybe to distract truth seekers or people that are on the path of knowledge, the path of truth. So it says the credibility of the entire initiative was heavily damaged by the WikiLeaks email dump on October 2016 when it was revealed that DeLonge had worked directly with John Podesta on this plan. I mean, once anyone found this out, why would they believe DeLonge? When you find out that someone is working with this known demon worshipping Satanist, I mean, it's ludicrous and ridiculous that anyone would believe anything that comes from Tom DeLonge. Tom DeLonge's leaked email to Hillary Clinton campaign about, you know, here he is working with Hillary Clinton too. I mean, who is this guy? The benefit of the doubt. I wanted to give DeLonge the benefit of the doubt and still do. I have felt he might be in over his head on this all along, and I was willing to help. Why would you help someone that's working with John Podesta and Hillary Clinton? I don't get it. Okay. Something's coming, and every day they tell me, one more day, but I will look back at it as one of my life's greatest accomplishments. What did you really accomplish, Tom? Working with known criminals against humanity? $2,200,000 from 2,000 individuals. On December 20th, you got the 222, you know, 2.2 million from 2,000 individuals. It was announced that this initiative had raised a staggering $2.2 million from only 2,000 individuals. 222. Who are these 2,000 individuals? This adds up to a shocking average of $1,100 per person. Are you sure it's not $1,101? By contrast, our grassroots Peterson fundraiser beginning August 18, 2017, ended by our own choosing in 1 month with 53,560 from 1,128 of you. That was only 872 less people than DeLonge's group, with half as much raised. Not even half, but more than twice. I mean, that's 2 million, and they raised 53,000. I mean, that's not even close. The real story is the impending arrest of the deep state. Now there we go. Now we're onto a real story here. Please don't let the stunning collapse of the DeLonge group upset you. And why would it? If you didn't know by now, I mean, someone that's working with Podesta and Hillary Clinton, that you could trust anything this person says, get your head out of the sand. If we were dealing with a deep state partial disclosure initiative all along, then it is inevitable that they would have built a failsafe into it from the beginning. They may have hoped that no one would identify the alleged UFO photo as a Mylar balloon until they needed to destroy the entire mission. Just envision a case where this planned partial disclosure had done its work in distracting the public. Let's say the deep state had been able to reassert power, such as through false flag events and public defeat of key opponents, than by revealing the true provenance of the original photo in a carefully staged media event. They could then destroy the entire disclosure movement. Therefore, I feel this was not an accident at all. It was deliberately planned demolition charge, and it had obviously detonated prematurely. Now the whole house of cards behind it can come tumbling down. There you go, your little pyramid's gonna come tumbling down. 13,605 sealed indictments and counting. When are these indictments gonna be unsealed? Any day now, hopefully. A tweet on January 28, 2018 from Dan Martin, 32, revealed some stunning new hints of the scope of mass arrests that are now heading our way. Just between December 26, 2017 and January 26, 2018, fully 4,311 more sealed indictments were added to the list. So from December, within 1 month, 4,300. That adds up to a shocking 13,605 sealed indictments on the books right now. Anyone can check this for themselves on pacer.gov, where all such indictments must be cataloged, whether sealed or unsealed. So check out that pacer.gov. They also have this backup files, this tiny URL. You can write that down and check that out. How many are normal? 1,077 per 2009 report. We have 13,605 from 10/30/2017 to 1/26/2018. So that's 3 months. We got 13,000 indictments here. The December 21st executive order and State of the Union speech. Now that was on the winter solstice. Trump signed this executive order with human rights abuses worldwide, declaration of national emergency to the Congress of the United States. The order blocks the property and interest and property of persons listed and annexed to the order. It also blocks the property and interests and property of any foreign person determined by the Secretary of the Treasury in consultation with the Secretary of State and Attorney General. So that means basically that if they find anyone that is involved in any kind of human rights abuse, that is these pedophile rings, the human trafficking, all of their property, including all their assets and money, can be seized by our government here, by the federal government. If they have directly or indirectly engaged, you see that? So even if they didn't get caught red-handed, if they had anything to do with serious human rights abuse, then they're done for. Look at this one. To be a current or former government official. So that could be anyone from the President to the Secretary of State to the Attorney General, any former government official, or a person acting for or on behalf of such an official. So that's pretty much potentially any citizen of both domestic and foreign, because right here they say that it could be a citizen or a foreign. See, national security, foreign policy. Okay. Then we had the State of the Union. This was further bolstered by the following words that were included in the recent State of the Union address by Trump. I call on the Congress to empower every cabinet secretary with the authority to reward good workers and to remove federal employees who undermine the public trust or fail the American people. That means any employee for the federal government. That's pretty huge. And you see Q posted this, QAnon, with exclamation points. See, it was underlined by QAnon, post 647 on January 31st. So we got the FISA memo and the resulting market collapse. The FISA memo was released on February 2nd, 2018, just 2 days after the above QAnon posts. In short, a memo revealed that the entire Russiagate and resulting fake news campaign was in and of itself fake news, and other more damning memos have been promised. Though you may be saying, so what, everyone knows they are corrupt, the point is that this memo directly paves the way for arrests to follow legally. Simultaneously, on the same day the memo emerged, the Dow Jones stock market index was collapsed by precisely 666 points. Go figure. Is that the serpents being drained from the swamp? Is that their little sign? See, minus. That means there's that many people going down. A very disturbing religion. As we have said before, the deep state, people actually do practice a strange and disturbing religion most of us would think of as Satanism. This includes rape, torture, and sacrifice of adults and children at the highest level, a full embrace of the idea of devil worship, if ever there was one. The October 2016 WikiLeaks emails made this very year. We summarized all the gruesome details in Endgame disclosure and the final defeat of the Cabal on December 6, 2016. Thankfully, Alliance efforts have led to the arrest of over 40,000 child traffickers in 2017, according to our insiders. This has nearly destroyed the deep state rings. The Alliance are the white hats in the military and the government that are trying to make this a better place to live, to bring back the republic, to bring back sovereignty, and to end the rape and torture of countless victims around the world by these deep, dark, twisted, insane sociopaths that have been in control for many, many years. They should never have harmed the children. They were warned multiple times. I'm sorry it took this long for justice to be served, and it is presently being served, but the world has seen nothing yet. The higher dimensions are starting to intervene. It is green light go. It would be entirely within the capability of the deep state to orchestrate a precise sell-off, tweaking it minute by minute to achieve the desired result. They seem to be overplaying their hands on this, as they recently cooked the books to give the U.S. a $666 billion deficit on October 20th, 2017. There you go again, $666 billion deficit. I mean, a dizzying bloodbath. The markets have continued going through a dizzying bloodbath in the following week since the FISA memo, and the markets both dropped minus 1,175. Stocks shake again, Dow down 900 points. Welcome to the correction, February 8th. Simultaneously, we have Alliance assets in the UK targeting the formerly untouchable arch conspirator George Soros with front page attacks. The leader of the Purple Revolution, George Soros. 2/8, that was 2 days ago. George Soros backing secret plot to thwart Brexit. Man who broke the Bank of England, backing secret plot to thwart Brexit, from the Daily Telegraph. You're not going to thwart nothing, Soros. Your time is up. You will have to pay for your crimes against humanity, and you're going to have to repent, and your time is done here. Get your orange suit ready for Guantanamo Bay. Remember that Brexit means the UK pulls its money and support out of the EU, the European Union, and its currency, the euro. What a joke that was. If the UK does pull out, it is expected to trigger a domino effect that will collapse the EU and its New World Order plans of mass poverty and starvation. They're saying it's going to collapse their plan, so their plan for mass poverty and starvation is not going to happen. Their final move. The current market collapse appears to be the beginning of exactly what we have expected would happen when the deep state was very close to being defeated. If the partial disclosure effort couldn't save them, their final move is to attempt to throw the world into chaos through an orchestrated financial collapse. Since their religion requires them to hide it out in the open, they revealed that this was an orchestrated collapse by starting it off at -666. The number of their ignorance. This extreme turbulence is the main headline story right as we are about to publish this article on Friday, February 9th. That was yesterday. Dow bounces more than 300 points Friday. Worst week in 2 years. Stock bounces in hell week, they call it. Remember that any market downturn typically has volatile whipsawing movements as it gets started. This is due to investors thinking that recently devalued stocks are a great profit opportunity and throwing large investments into them. 13,000 sealed indictments, 13,000 new prisoners for Guantanamo. Is Guantanamo even big enough to hold that many people? I know they've been expanding the prison there, getting ready for these indictments to be unsealed. On June 30th of last year, the Navy announced the expansion of Guantanamo Bay facility to handle 13,000 more prisoners and 5,000 more guards. So yeah, I guess they did expand it to fit that many people. Don't you find it interesting that there are also 13,605 new seal indictments filed between October 30th and January 26th? You know, if they did round up all these people in these indictments and send them to Guantanamo Bay, I'm sure that will become the biggest coven this world has ever seen. But luckily they will be behind bars where they can no longer harm their innocent victims and the children. The mass indictments began to be filed just 4 months after the massive construction project was announced. Furthermore, our insiders had already indicated that Guantanamo was being expanded in order to house deep state prisoners. And here we are with the proof. Where is all this leading us? Our insider briefings have gone almost completely silent over the last few weeks as this all moves from a planning to an operational phase. Furthermore, Mega Anon, that's a Q, that's on 4chan, has completely stopped answering calls or emails since we spoke right during her final announcement of January 13th, in which she was very concerned about surveillance. So David claims to have spoken with this Q, that it is a woman, and that she's working with the white hats and potentially Donald Trump himself. My intuitive feeling, for what it's worth, is that she is alive and safe and has been ordered to remain silent for operational security purposes. Although I did see a video today that Q had posted something yesterday, a couple things. She reached out to me after I thoroughly covered her inside leaks concerning pending mass arrests of the deep state. Alliance insiders have since told us that QAnon is not only the real deal, but is the main avenue for the Alliance to communicate with us securely at this time. So he has a summary of some of the latest Q posts. Epic conference this weekend where real disclosure takes place. So he's talking about there's some that they're doing an event, I think out in California, the Conscious Life Expo. Tomorrow night he will disclose the big picture, in quotes, of the Emery Smith testimony and may even have a surprise guest appear with me on stage. This will include new information about yet another major attempt to intimidate Emery, in which his dog was killed and it was beaten in January. That's sad. That's disgusting. You will find out whether this caused him to stop talking or not. Sunday night, Corey Good and I will take the stage in a joint lecture where we will put the pieces together about the secret space program and his latest updates. On Monday night, he's going to talk about the scientific and spiritual data about the ascension that we're heading into. Some people call the event, the shift. Never before have we had so much information to learn as to the imminent reality of disclosure and the subsequent evolution of what it means to be human. These are very exciting times. Yes, they are. So here's some people at the expo here. Nassim Haramein, he's a great physicist, pretty brilliant dude. Carolyn Miss and Lynn McTaggart. They're all... It's a brilliant panel there. Fighting the good fight. So they're saying they're fighting the good fight for full disclosure. All, you know, the government needs to come out with all the information they have and on these phenomenons. Okay. So yeah, check out the article. If you have any more input on this Tom DeLonge thing, the UFO disclosure, David Wilcock, leave them in the comments below, and I'll try to respond to them. But thanks for watching my video. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video, my friend. Take care now.